This is Gary Butterfield.
This is Cole Ross.
And this is Monster My Podcast.
And this is Medusa.
Yeah.
There's a monster in my podcast.
How these turn out to be so cool?
I
were you
fucking love
real snooze?
No,
Like,
I wasn't expecting it to be a snooze because Medusas are fucking great.
I think these are cooler than actual Medusas, though.
Oh, wow. Huh.
This and the next entry, which is just like that. What if, why don't men get a Medusa? They're surprisingly cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that one of the things that makes this interesting for me is actually the illustration, because this just looks like an elf lady. It is not like the green hunched over, crazy kind of witch crone. This is like a kind of an actual person who would like lure you in, and you wouldn't realize that her hair was moving until too late.
Yeah. This is it's blowing in the wind.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Also, they like the way they breed is to like, I mean, it's got that weird kind of slut shaminess that all of the Monster Spaniel has, weirdly enough. But like they seduce men and they like hide their face in shadow, so you don't necessarily know anything's going on.
Mm-hmm. You just think, hey, it's one of those moving veils.
Yeah. You don't look at the mantle when you're poking the fire, and then you just go to business.
Jesus.
And then I've had that like I feel like I first heard that phrase when I was like 16.
Oh,
like that's
God.
like I've known for most of my life.
Yeah, it's about dipping your wick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
getting to the slime time players with Johnny Stiffelot and his two cronies.
With Johnny Stiffelot and Balls.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Balls? Yeah, that's his friend, Balls.
Yeah. It's like the ice climbers. Like they're just one unit.
A unit. No, but you were saying like, hey, yeah, so they trick them into sex and then they steal their seed.
And then they have an egg with it.
Which again, if they were looking to get a detail noticed.
Mm-hmm, yeah, eggs are gonna. That's our word. That's our watchword.
Yeah.
We got a Google alert in our brains for eggs. But it's so amazing that like so they have these eggs. They just look like little babies with these little stubby green little like lumps on their forehead.
Yeah, and
then eventually grow into these Medusas.
Yeah.
Pretty great.
And we're going to find out in the next entry that like, most of the offspring are female and only like 1% of the male ones are viable. So like that is again, one of these weird little, in this case it's the monster spaniel, because I don't remember Medusa or any of the Gorgons in Greek mythology being, out there trawling for seed.
It was subtext.
Oh, of course.
It was there.
Yeah.
So that part's really great. So it has this like weird kind of conservation angle to it. So like there's a hook where you have somebody who's like trying to like make sure these things don't go extinct.
Mm-hmm.
What are the ethical considerations if in your fantasy world, like Medusas are an endangered species?
Yep.
Because they're sentient, like they're not. But the other thing I was thinking about is that when you cut off their heads, they can still petrify you. For every, is it hour? Especially
it's every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
Okay, so every day your saving throw increases by 1.
Yeah.
So you're more likely to resist it. If you roll a 1 on a saving throw, you fail no matter what. That's an instant failure.
Right.
So a Medusa head, no matter how old, has a 5% chance of petrifying people.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking about you get like a fortress and you just line the walls with Medusa heads.
Oh, geez.
And any army that approaches you is going to lose 5% of their people as statues and get demoralized as fuck. And it happens like every round. Like you could make a super defensible tower with like Medusa heads all over the walls and shit.
Well, yeah, like what that would be is just an ocean of statues like striving toward the walls.
Be amazing.
Yeah,
right?
like intermixed with the skeletons of people who got trapped. From
man,
the different armies, there would be strata, especially as they tried to like climb over each other. So it'd be a wall of writhing corpses leading up to the fortress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Hire me, FromSoft. Give us a job.
But there are so many good there are good details in here that like they address in this entry what happens with the basilisk garden, because too many hey, that would be kind of suspicious. But this one where he's in kind of a triumphant pose, well, I mean, that kind of spruces up the joint. That'll improve the resale value.
Yeah, and if you don't like it, you smash into a thing that can't be resurrected.
Right.
And that's a real Chekhov's thing, because the next entry we're going to get the payoff for that.
Oh yes, we will.
Which is phenomenal. So super good. Like, it's just like, these things are really, really great. I've never used one in a D&D game, and it really made me want to like use them.
Well, it sucks because like petrification might as well be instant death. Minus certain items and stuff like that. Like, there is a definite penalty to this. There has to be a way to work one of these into the campaign that won't just be a fuck you to your PCs. I
think you do it the way like later Final Fantasies do, where it becomes like, it starts out as slow.
Oh yeah,
and you slowly turn to stone. So you have time to react.
Yeah.
It's just I think they're very cool. And out of all the animals we have that can like petrify you, like, there's no contest. like the Medusa and the next entry are by far the coolest things that have the ability to petrify you. I mean, I guess, well, actually, one of the Beholder's eye stalks can do it. So are you saying that? No, you know what I fucking mean. I mean, basilisks suck.
Stop finding exceptions.
I mean, cockatrices suck. Like
yeah. So Medusas rule in a way that greater Medusas do not.
Yeah.
Like these things kind of suck. They're just snake ladies.
Yeah, they're Naga.
Yeah,
they have like lower half their snakes. Their skin is all, scaled, and they just use weapons and stuff.
Yeah, and they've got like xenomorph blood.
Yeah, they're poisonous. Who gives a shit?
Yeah,
like half the things in the Monsters Manual are poisonous. 3/4 of the thing in the actual world are poisonous. You can't do shit to me, Greater Medusa. I ate a food once that made me poisoned. Like, this breadstick made me poisoned. Dumb shit.
Go to hell. Brought to you by our backers at patreon.com/duckfeed.tv.